Welcome back to Rich Words Music, where today we're back on Rat business. And what we're going to do today is compare this ProCo Rat 2 against three of the pedal's modern day competitors and pedals who were inspired by the Rat. The ProCo Rat itself has been around in various guises since 1979, and it's been seen on the boards of some of the most famous guitarists of all time. Everyone from Nirvana's Kurt Cobain to Blur's Graham Coxon have played the Rat. Now the Rat is very affordable. In July 2021 it's only €85 or so. It's very durable. It's built like a tank. It's very simple to use. It gives you overdrive, distortion and fuzz tones, so it's a very good choice for any guitar player who wants to get dirty. So we've got a distortion control, a filter, tone shaping control and a volume control. And that's it. Now what we're going to do today is I will play two loops on two of my guitars, and we're going to twist the knobs of the pedal to hear what extremes and what tones we can get with it. But what three competitors are we looking at today? Well, first up we've got the Wampler Ratsbane. Now the Ratsbane is a mini version of the Rat pedal that came out in 2021. It also has the same three controls for volume, distortion and filter, but it has two mini switches here that give you different tonal options, so we'll click those too. Now the ProCo Rat costs €85. Currently the Ratsbane costs 159, so it's almost twice the price of the ProCo Rat. The budget side of things today is covered by the Mooer Black Secret, which costs about €50 at the time of filming, so a lot cheaper than the ProCo Rat. Now this also has the three controls, the same as the Rat, and it has two switches here to go between two modes, vintage and turbo Rat modes, so we'll hear those too. And finally we're in boutique Rat territory because I have the Gorilla Warfare by Greer amplification. Now this is made in the USA and costs around €225 at time of filming, so you could buy pretty much three ProCo Rats for the price of this one, and this one just has volume, gain and tone controls. So again, we're going to play two loops. The first is going to be on the bridge humbucker of my Epiphone Les Paul. It's going to be a bit heavier in drop D tuning. After that we'll use the bridge pickup of my Fender Strat and do an indie kind of octave chord progression, and we'll hear what these pedals can do, and afterwards we'll speak about them in a bit more detail. Okay then, so that was the ProCo Rat 2 and 3 derivatives thereof, and I hope you enjoyed the riffs and the tones. Please leave me a comment down there telling me which of the 4 pedals you preferred and why. I'll be really interested to hear which one you guys thought was best. But my opinions now then. First off, the ProCo Rat 2. No surprises as to why this one is an absolute classic and so many amazing players have it on their boards. It's pretty affordable at about 85 euros. It's built like an absolute tank. I can't ever imagine this one breaking. And it does so many different amazing drive tones. It does clean pushed boost tones, it does indie tones, it does jazzy tones, it does rock tones, classic rock, hard rock, modern rock, alternative rock, whatever kind of rock. It does punk, it does post-punk, and it does even metal tones. It probably doesn't do modern progressive metal tight chuggy sounds, but it will do metal, and for that reason this pedal is one that I think pretty much everyone should have on their board. Really, it gives you that different option, and it gives me a different flavor of gain from the more traditional transparent overdrives that I tend to use a lot of the time. I really love this pedal, and I really am happy to have finally found it a year or so ago, finally. So I'm a Rat convert 100%, and as you can see, I've now got 4 of them and there will be more to come. So how did those other pedals stack up against the Rat? Well, first off, let's say that we managed to get all of them sounding very similar to the ProCo Rat indeed. They're obviously all based off of this circuit. They can get very close indeed. Some of them do different things as well, but if you want that ProCo Rat sound, you can get it from all of these 4 pedals. So let's talk about each of them in turn then. Now, the Wampler Ratsbane is a mini pedal, of course, we can see that quite clearly. So if you've got a board with not much space and you want some rat flavored dirt in it, this is going to be a good choice along with the Mooer. Now this one costs almost twice as much as the ProCo Rat 2. It's about 160 euros at time of filming, and it's made in the USA. What it does do is give you an extra tone compared to the Rat. Now it's got 2 little mini switches here, which are an absolute nightmare to switch, by the way. They're very small because the pedal itself is tiny anyway. But over here we've got a voice switch. Now what this one does is turn the pedal away from the traditional Rat circuitry into a more modern sounding distortion pedal. So it's effectively 2 distortion pedals in one, although I do prefer the Rat sound. The other voice is very usable indeed. Now, just to tell you about the other mini switch here, it's 3 different gain settings. In the middle, it's traditional Rat mode. Push it across to the left, and you have a mid and high end gain boost. Push it across to the right and you get a full frequency gain boost. As I said, they're very fiddly to switch, those switches. You do find yourself turning the knobs as you turn them, as you switch them, and even the knobs themselves, this being a mini pedal, are not that easy to turn, but not a problem once you get used to it. Now, about the Ratsbane itself, in terms of tones, it nails the Rat sound. It also has a lot more volume on tap than the Rat itself. I found that I needed to be just over 12 o'clock to get this to unity gain, and it also has, I would say, an almost hi-fi version of the Rat tone. It's almost like a well-produced or a well-mixed version of the Rat. It feels like it's got an extra professional sheen to it. It's not really that noticeable. I don't know if all of you will notice it during the playing samples, but it's just something that I feel. You notice it when playing it, you notice it through headphones. It's like maybe a more cleaner, tidier version of the Rat in that way. So if that's your thing, the Ratsbane is absolutely going to be up your street. Let's move on to the cheap pedal of the bunch, the Mooer Black Secret. Now the Black Secret is also a mini pedal, as you can see, so if you're lacking pedalboard space, get this one on it or get the Ratsbane on it, your choice. But this pedal is about 50 bucks at time of filming, so almost half the price of the Rat and less than a third of the price of the Ratsbane. Now in terms of tone, this one can also do that Rat thing, but I noticed that it seems to be a little bit less refined than the other pedals. I'm not going to say that it's because it's worse quality or anything like that. It just is slightly sort of, what's the word? It's just not as smooth in some respects. Now the Rat is not really a smooth pedal, but this is even more kind of grainy to my ears. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you can hear it in the playing samples. But it's a very versatile pedal too, and of course it has this switch here to go from vintage to turbo mode. Now, these 2 modes are characterized by 2 different kinds of clipping. The turbo mode is an LED kind of clipping, and what the turbo mode seems to do in terms of sounds is give you a big extra volume push and actually a bit of a reduction in gain. So it's not a totally different sound as on the Ratsbane, it's just a different flavor of Rat. And indeed, there is a ProCo Turbo Rat available, so we know exactly what Mooer are going for. But another very good pedal, nails the Rat thing. And finally we come to boutique territory. This is the Greer Gorilla Warfare. This is made in America and costs around 225 euros over here in Europe at time of filming. So it's almost 3 times as much as the Rat. You could get over 4 Mooer pedals for the price of this, and you could almost get 2 Wampler Ratsbanes for the price of this. This is a very, very nice pedal though. You've got that made in America quality. It feels very, very good indeed. And they're not trying to do anything spectacular. The one cool thing about the Gorilla Warfare is also the fact that it has the fabled LM308 Rat chip in it. If you're into your Rats, you'll know that that's apparently the best of the chips that gives you the best of Rat tone. But you'll need to go onto nerdy Rat forums to find out more about that, because we're not going to discuss that today. Now, the Gorilla Warfare has just the 3 knobs, volume, gain, and tone, but it does an excellent Rat sound. And it seems to me to be a slightly more polite and almost lower gain version of the Rat. When you turn this one down to lower gain sounds, it sounds very, very smooth indeed. It can rock it with the best of them turned up, but it also does more polite lower gain settings. So it gives you another different option. And if you really dig USA built stuff, it's either going to be the Gorilla Warfare or the Ratsbane for you. So which of the 4 pedals should you buy then? Well, it's entirely up to you. We've looked at 4 different budget and price points here. We've looked at the Rat for 85, the Ratsbane for about 160, the Mooer for about 50, and the Gorilla Warfare for about 220. Ultimately, they all do pretty much the same thing, and ultimately the ProCo Rat 2 is the original, and many would say the original and best. I'm not going to give you my complete opinion on it today. I find all 4 of the pedals have their advantages. They all do different things if you want that. They all do the Rat thing if you want that as well. But I will say that if I'm just looking for a Rat sound at home here and the pedals are not on a board, I pick up the Rat because the Rat is the Rat. So there you go. That's the end of the comparison. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you liked hearing the different tones between the 4 pedals. There's many more Rat pedals out there as well, so don't just think that it's these 4. And do you have any kind of inspiration, any kind of ideas or recommendations for other Rat pedals I should try? I've heard about the 1981 DRV. I know the Jam Rattler is supposed to be good as well, but what else is out there? Please let me know. If you've made it this far in the video, please subscribe to the Rich Words Music channel. Plenty more pedal-based videos as well, plenty more guitar and amp-based things, plenty more silly music videos and interviews with people in the industry. But that's been it for today then. I've been Rich for Rich Words Music, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.